Welcome back to the channel, guys. We made 870 bucks in this live stream I'm about to show you. Just take notes. There's a lot of key details that we discuss about price action and how to optimize and fine tune those entries. So 870 bucks on the 150K instant funded account. If you are interested in trading with Top One, there's a link in the description for 50% off. Not going to waste any more of your time. Let's get into the live stream. Enjoy. We have the open in 4 minutes. So what I'll do is I'm going to watch it right into the open. Yeah, I mean, it's 100 bucks. My daily stop's going to be like, 1,500 or whatever. So it's not really that big of a deal to me. I'm just kind of teasing around with the idea of it going higher. Like it looks like to me, watch, let's see. To me, this looks like, it looks like it's going to hold this little consolidation and then rip. Whether or not it dips down to, VWAP or something, that's a possibility. But, it's a little bit of a flag pattern. This is a very strong displacement. I'm not quick to want to like short into this. It's like very tight, if that makes sense. So the open in 3 minutes, so that's going to be really volatile. So we'll watch it at the open. To me, these targets are very obvious up here, so that's going to influence what I'm looking at. I think these are really easy to hit because they're all lower highs. So yeah, we'll watch it into the open. Current 4 hour. Yeah, I think it's going to run the highs. I agree. Whether or not it takes my 100 bucks stop, whatever. I don't really care. 130 bucks. It's like this right here is an awkward area where it's like I don't want to have my stop too low once it starts pushing, because then if it's just going to pull back to VWAP or whatever, I feel like that'd just be a better entry, especially in these markets. That tends to be the case. You could go all of 2024 never using VWAP, and then 2025 it's like, probably pay attention to it. Volume's only like double what it was last year. Yeah, same. I think it's kind of like a scalping type condition. I wouldn't say today is a super easy read by any means. Mentioned the 4 hour. Yeah, 4 hour sweep of the lows on the 4 hour. I do think running that high makes sense. I kind of think this is like a buy the open one. Fuck. Alrighty. We'll just give it one shot right here. If not, if it doesn't go off the open, then we'll give it some time to develop structure. But I've noticed that these opening drives tend to work pretty well in this condition. I don't really want to. I don't really enjoy trading the open. But for the sake of this, we'll do it. Just gonna flip real quick. Watch. Stop me out real quick. We'll see. And if not, we'll get better positioned at like VWAP or something. But to me, it just looks like it's gonna run. That's kind of why I have this perspective. Pretty weak. It'll probably flip right now. I don't think the candle is going to push higher. Looks pretty weak. I'm ready to rip it off, honestly. But I mean, 200 bucks here. We'll put the stop at the flip, and just be done with it if it doesn't work. It seems like it can, but it doesn't show. It's not showing that immediate strength. So we'll probably get a 1 minute opening range break here. So let's see if it breaks to the downside or to the upside. I think it's going to stop it though. If you're like, oh, why is your stop so tight? Because I'm not really trying to give it all that much room. I don't really love the idea, but I do see the validity in it working. I've been not catching these types of moves where it's this initial push, because of just my reluctance to take it. So I'll dabble with it, right? I'm not going to hit this with massive size, but I'm also not going to give it massive structure. I'd rather just work immediately because it can. And then if it works, that's cool. Then I have some profits to play with. But yeah, so we get the 1 minute opening range break to the upside. Cool. Now we just need to break this high right here, and then we'll be good. I'm going to put this in profit. Hopefully I don't fuck myself by doing that. I don't want this to dip below this opening price. It just needs to kind of start expanding higher. So I have my target is just a couple ticks in front of that. Let's make it 529.75. I don't want to get like juked out where it's just it almost goes and then doesn't give it to me. So now I'm in profit. If this stops me, I'm break even on the day. And then if it works, we'll play with some of the open profit. We'll go for like 5,100. See, look, it's faking me out right here at this high. Equal highs, you fucking bitch. I hate ES for this fact. When it'll form equal highs and just won't go above. NQ's already going, so ES should follow. NQ is strong, yeah. NQ's already at target pretty much. Like it's already at London highs, if you will. So hopefully next candle will give us a target. Typically ES doesn't need to dig deeper. Like NQ will normally reach for this. ES normally doesn't need to, except if I'm in the trade, I guess, right? So we'll see what the 15-second looks like. Yeah, this is wonderful. Nice. So we'll just kind of leave it. I don't really mind if it takes out break even. Looks like NQ reference a fair value gap, so that might be a decent entry. This could be a good ad, honestly. I'm just going to leave the trade by itself. I don't really need to do much right here. Pull back into London OTE fib. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, that's like when you observe a tendency, if you can kind of lean into it, then you'll be good. I kind of want to add here, honestly, but I'm not going to. That's what I was doing last night. I was just every opportunity to add on an order block, add. That's how I ran up like that 2,700. Yeah, this is just not moving. Keep it moving, keep it grooving. All right, let's see. NQ hasn't taken the levels, but it got quite close. So it could just pull back right here. Yeah, I hate when it does shit like this. It just needs to kind of give me that expansion, and then we can start doing something. But I'm not going to move the stop. I'll just leave everything right here. Such a weak-ass push. Well, we tried. So we're up $5. We'll keep an eye on it, though. I'm not like too worried about much right now. See, like now we can actually maybe buy the break of this. See this high right here? I like this as like an order block to have the same target. I think it's a cleaner trade. Unless I'm just completely wrong on the direction, then that should be the nice continuation. It could just possibly fake me out. That's the other consideration you got to have. So I don't mind. I got back to break even. So if I have some risk on the table, it's okay. Again, if it does one of those though, where it doesn't close above as I think it will, then that'll be kind of funny because I've had that issue lately where I'll buy before the order block closes and then it just doesn't give it to me. So yeah, this could probably just, let's see. It looks good for the higher low. It really does. And the targets are clear. I think even if bearish, it needs to go higher. So it's always good if your trade needs to go higher first for either direction. Yeah. Yeah. What's up, Mari? I think it was giving me the wrong link. I don't know why I kept doing that. So we'll see if we get the break right here, ideally. I had one push off the open, got trailed in profit, and then now I entered and got in a little early on this entry. I did not mean to get in before the closure, so I'm kind of getting joked. Yeah. So like down $300. We're gonna give it time. I think if we can get some sort of decent entry, then obviously we'll look for it. But I'm not too concerned. I think the direction is good. I think in my entry right there was just a second too early, which is annoying. It looked like the chart was doing something a little bit different than it was. It looked like it was closing above here, but I was wrong. So no bottom wick here. Okay. Pull back into London OTE. Then I mean, it could. I mean, I honestly, the deeper the pullback, it's like probably a little bit easier to trade with into VWAP. But if it looks like it's gonna just give continuation, that's kind of what I'm gonna be kind of leaning into. Looking at that 5 minute, it's kind of tall wick, kind of narrow body, yeah. So we'll see how it wants to close, but I'm watching that. Oh, now is it gonna go? Is it gonna go now? Let's see. All right, I think now is going. Let's give it like one more second. You gonna fake me out this time? You gonna fake me out? Let's see. I think this might be the time. We have the 5 minute closure coming up in a minute. What should we aim for? I know we should take some off at that high, but is this going to overshoot it, you think? I mean, very well could. It seems very close. That's why I ask. Seems very close. So like 2 off here. Ideally, you get this to hold as a fair value gap right here. And if anyone didn't get that order block entry, then they can get in on a fair value gap. However, the reason why am I favoring order blocks? It's because fair value gaps have been getting left unfilled in this market, like a lot, especially on the low time frame, like a fuck ton. So it makes it quite challenging when a great trade happens and it just kind of goes by without me. So stops at the bottom of the fair value gap on the 30-second. I think we'll get the first target. I mean, let's see. Oh, shit. There. Could probably put this close to profit. I just don't want it to pull back too hard right here. I'd rather get these 2 off and then have it in profit. But we'll see. SMT at the highs, maybe? No, I think we'll be okay. Get the candle flip. I think we're fine. It's like pretty close. Pretty close. Yeah, I think I'll take it. I'll take one off at 5,100. The first 2 are me being responsible. This one, 5,100, psychological. And then the fourth one is just for the fact that, like, why not? Let's just see if it's going to actually start to see some upside. Because these things get kind of crazy. Like that bounce last night was legitimately insane. And it's due to the fact that this has been so beat up. Any sign of a life, like you have so many people that are deep short. Being short in the hole is never a great long-term strategy. Well, I mean, that's probably good then, because if you didn't have the lockout, you'd probably be done for the day. You know, good or bad. You might have tried doing the right thing or the wrong thing. It's always good to follow whatever your rules are. They don't have to be like the rules aren't important. The rules can be arbitrary. All right, let's see. Do we get 50-70? Damn, this thing's fucking speedy. I don't know. Don't mind me. Whenever I drag stuff like this, it's not that I'm like, oh, we need to hit that. I'm kind of just like reading how far away it is in price. I'm measuring. But maybe this midpoint consolidation, right? So it looks like we're in profit on the day. We've recovered that first loss that we took on the same idea. So now we're going to see if we can potentially start to work through this down close or this up close candle right here, this opposite candle. Because if we can start to work through this, this can operate as a mitigation block for us. We'll basically flip it if we get into it with aggression. So that's kind of what I'm going to be positioned for. Obviously, we're at the London highs. So this is the area where if we're going to sweep and fall back into the range, then we'll just do that. It's no big deal. We're already up on the day. But if we want to have a little bit of fun, we can kind of aim for something in here. I don't know if this is the whole move right here, if that's it. I mean, 70 points on ES is actually fucking insane, but we'll have some fun with it. Thanks, brother. Yeah. I feel like it was a really good base hit. It was a really good base hit. We were able to recover our loss very nicely. We didn't overdo anything. So I think this is the type of trade that, based on everything that I saw, I felt like this was a good trade to take off the open. So that's honestly my goal with stream is take trades that I think will be beneficial for people to take. And then also just show you guys how, like, if I do decide to go for runners, how I think about it. So in this scenario, since we're using this structure right here, the smarter thing to do would be align with probably the middle of this. So put this order in the middle. However, I think I like 15. I like the number 15. So if it does reach in there, we'll go for the 15. There we go. So then you want to see every one of these down candles start to act as like a support level when it breaks above. No fair value gaps right here. NQ is kind of sinking a little. Yeah, it could stop. I mean, you have a fair value gap right here. I don't really want to give it the full risk. I don't want to go break even on it, I guess. So you have this. Ideally, it doesn't pull back is what I'm getting at because of the 5 minute. When you start to get the 5 minute wick on the top, it doesn't make it a great trade to hold through to break even. So it'll either bounce right here or it won't, right? Boom. So remember what we said? We said we were taking 2 off at that blue level to be responsible. And then the rest was for funsies. So we're up $200 on the day. But I don't think that's the end of the day. We're going to kind of keep an eye on what's going to happen. Just kind of trade around with the levels. So you're back into this initial fair value gap. That's kind of not where I wanted price to go, but it could hold right here. You know, I don't think it's a bad level. It's just the 5 minute wick. It's not my favorite. So it's very possible I get stopped out at the bottom right there. Yeah, thanks, brother. Thank you. Also, another thing. This is something it took me a minute to realize. You can literally put your stop wherever you want. You don't have to leave it at break even. You don't have to do that shit. You can know it's going to stop you out and then still maybe continue. And then you could just look for another entry if you want. But I think this year, because I used to just be break even all the time. I didn't care. Just leave it break even because it would never come back. This year, 2025, it almost always will come back to break even and not even continue. 2024, I don't feel like I had many trades ever come back on me. Like it was the weirdest thing when I compare the two. So yeah, even if you do want to look for another entry, which I don't think I would mind, give it a little more time. It's kind of hard because we're into that level, but let's see how it holds. Try to give it one more candle. So the things I'm considering is the fact that there's a tall upper wick. However, it is early in the session, so I understand that these swings can happen and this can be ran easily. And I said I want to wait another candle because I would honestly like to see a little bit of like a breaker form in here. This wick could essentially give me that. If this closes higher, you'll get like the 15-second or something. Essentially, it'd be like that head and shoulders. So this needs to get back above 50-20 for me to then want to engage. If not, if it doesn't do that, then there's no trade for me. Like 50-20, yeah. See how it's starting to, when it starts to form that long wick, that's where I'm really starting to get interested. It just needs to close that way. Yeah. See that? That looks pretty ripe. 3, 2, 1. It could have closed stronger. That was a little soft, but I still like it. Still like it, yeah. See, it just needs to get above here. Now we just wait. If it can't get above, there's no trade. Probably can't have the stop too tight. Let's see, make sure all these are right. Let's see this. Stop's probably a little too tight, but I'm not going to give it room. It either works or it doesn't. I want to see a responsive reaction here. I'm not going to let it sag to the bottom of this wick. That's just stupid if I need to give it that much of a stop. As soon as this pops, I'm going to trail it just a tiny bit right there. So see, I have 345 in risk. It's about $400. And then I want this off at like right here. See this right here? That flat little part. The rest of it, I want to hold towards this high, probably the bodies of this. And then I want 2 runners. So ideally, it grabs 2 of these real quick. And then I can start to look for those runners. And then we can potentially start to run that wick or consider doing so. This should flip. Bottom wick formed. Should just run real quick right there. Camera trails break even as soon as this, yeah, right there. This is money right here. Some money trade. Just grab these really quick. Right here, it's this level. I don't want this to stop break even. I want it to grab 2 first at least. Go 15-second right here. See, bottom wick, cool. Now we'll flip. And we want it to get above 63 after this. See, look. That fucking dot. Notice where it's stalling. It's stalling like right before that level that we mentioned. All right, cool. We got one out. Sorry, I don't know why I'm whispering. little too focused right there. All right, so now we're in the driver's seat. Now we can kind of wake up. Let's have some fun. We got two that are going to be taken off right above 63, and then the rest we're going to hold. You know why? Because fucking why not? We'll go for like 50, 60s, 60s. So why am I taking it off at these spots? Well, number one, this is a mid-range for the pullback. So if it does pull back to the 50% from this high to this low, it can reject right there. Also, it's the top of that fair value gap. Also, you got that little no wick devil's mark. So it's an area that just, it sticks out to me. So I'm going to target it. Why did I have my stop right there? Well, because I waited for a swing point to form. I put my stop right there, and this is ES, not NQ. So I don't even have my stop below the bottom of the wick. Because if it's a swing point, this black candle is going to be the lowest candle. It's going to be the point. So it's not going to go a lower low to next to it. It's going to do that. And why do I want this right here? I want it at the close of it, because that's number one, going to be the order block for this big down move right here. And number two, in case it doesn't want to run the top of the wick, then I still make profit. So just being methodical, I guess, with it. Yeah. What's up, Jita? How you doing? Yeah, NQ same shit. NQ same shit. ES same shit right now. So you want this to kind of push higher now? Let's see. So I'm happy with the profit I made there, but I do think this is primed to run. Look at the 15, sorry. Let's see what the 5 looks like. I do think the 5 is good. The 5's got that order block as well. So you just need this to run. 50, 80 is going to be that next upside reference above our target. And then we have our two runners that we're going to hold till ES hits 10,000. Just kidding. We'll just hold it for a minute, have some fun with it. I felt like that was a really, really, really precise entry that I got right there. That was my favorite trade by far for the day. That pullback to the fair value gap, because you guys got to see that, number one, we didn't just buy at the top of it and put our stop down here and have a fucking 25, 30, 40 point stop. We waited for that swing point to form. I told you exactly when, got in, boom, wick, and then it went. So it was like one candle of a little bit of drawdown for the bottom wick. That was beautifully executed. If you simply just wait for that little head and shoulders to form inside every single swing point, and you buy above the break of that little box right here, you see these little four or five candles, like these right here. That's what matters. That's what matters. So I need this to kind of push real quick. I don't need this to come back on me. See, this is what I mean when I say I'm going to put it at the candle close. It's because this type of shit. And it seems right now they've even got me on it as well. So I probably should have had it at like 58, honestly, because then I would be out 2 more contracts near the highs, up 40 points, you know? So I'm learning as I go right now with what price is telling me. And I'm going to put it right above this consolidation in the case it gives me one little gift of an exit and then dies. Because it's better to make 60 than 35. You know, you have a little fair value gap that is potentially going to hold. So I hope that this is going to be my price support right here. See that wick? This wick tells me, hey, bring your stop up, buddy. Where I'm helping you out. So I just need this candle to flip or close about here, and then the next candle can push higher. But now I'm expecting this to be a swing point right here. So that's why my stop's below the swing point. The 5-minute candle closed good. Yeah, 5-minute candle closed good. It could, and if not, if this is not a swing point, it's going to be that little gravestone or whatever the fuck you call it, where it's a reversal signal for it to come lower. So either way, I'm cool with it. I think it just needs to push the high. Like, come on, you can do it. You can do it. Don't be a bitch. So now we'll look at 60-minute. Yeah, 60 looks good. This should fucking go. Come on. Don't joke around. It's not NQ. I'm trading ES for a reason. I don't want no manipulation. I want it just to be a little smooth sailing. Yeah, I'm like, I just want to take it off because this is not going. But we'll let it work. It's funny. The cost of an extra tick, if you do the math on trades like this where it will pull back 20% or something, and you realize less than you could have, that over the course of a year really adds up. So it's like, oh, top tick exit, dude, fucking put it 3 points in front. Like you will honestly thank yourself. I used to be like, no, it needs to be the exact level. Fuck that. Like, see this? It's taking forever, dude. Fucking just take me out. Like, you know, there you go. See, because if it takes me out here, that's an extra 17 points on 2 contracts. Then if I get stopped. So of course it's better just to, even if I miss out on a potential one or two, I have a runner for a reason. I can always bring this one up fucking like there. The math is fixed, you know? Because right here, if it fails right here, then it stops me out. However, if it's proving that it's strong, it's very likely just to keep fucking just running, you know? So you want this to break the highs. And then also we are now inverting this hourly gap. This is what I mean when I say longs are easier for me. I can read this shit like a fucking book. When it's short, I have like a learning disability. It's not even funny. Like I just cannot see it. I'm like dyslexic, but with charts. Yeah, ES for ES for 10,000. And the small inverse fair value gap. Yeah, it's a nice. There's a nice little combo right there. So either this makes new highs. NQ appears to be above the new day opening gap, which is worth noting. It's at the high of it, or new week. I think it's new week opening gap. I don't know. It's on my other computer over there, so I can't really tell. One of them. Hourly looks good though on both of them. Honestly, looks pretty insane. So either new highs right now in like 2 seconds, 10 a.m. And then we get a trend day for the bullish expansion. In that case, look for that swing high, that 53.10 or 15, whatever it is. 53.10. So not too bad. Pretty decent day on the top one futures account. Yeah, can't complain. If you haven't got an account, get one before tomorrow because you'll be entered in the giveaway. I need to. I picked the 5 on Friday, or like Friday. So they're break even on or break trailed in profit on the rest. So I'm up $870, I guess. Not too bad. I don't even know. I don't even think it's done. Honestly, I don't even think the day is done. I think it's going to still go higher. I think it might like give you the order block entry right here. I think it just wicked me out. You know, I think this is a fucking trade right here. I'm gonna like probably chill because like I want to hit this with like a very 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 aggressively. So I'm probably just gonna chill personally. But yeah, I think this looks good. But for the sake of deploying good habits, it's always good to chill when you have a strong fucking urge to do something. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. $870 on the day is not too bad. Chilling. Chipping away. That's all you can do. How'd it go for you, Jita? What'd you get into? I think the awesome part about this too is it wasn't like a massive structure that we traded, but we had a really good entry down here, really, really, really good timing on the entry, and we had really smart exits. We like legitimately, I don't even know if this hit. So when we trail it a little bit, yeah, it hit it by one tick, So if this reverses here, I might have still not got this one filled. Oh, this is gonna rip right here. I think it's gonna push. We'll see. Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's good for higher. Like this little flag kind of, you call this your order block right here. That's what I'm seeing in this market. I'm seeing a lot of these little consolidations and the break of the high. It's money. But again, like I'm up $800. I made 2,700 last night. So I'm like, I want to hit this with like 15 micros. That's why I'm trying to calm down because I really, really, really want to get aggressive right there. So it's just, I know it's going to go higher, but I don't want to do something where I'm like, that was kind of stupid. Would you call this a 1 hour change of state on ES based on the way the candle closed? Yeah, look at that move. So that's a good move. It's a good fucking move. I mean, I was telling you guys it was going to push right there. So ES, let's see. Hourly change in state. Let's see what we're looking at. I mean, so here's the thing. I've been kind of looking at this potentially, right? Because the idea with a change in state is essentially it's going to be a lower low, and then when you break above it, so it's like a turtle soup plus a market structure shift. Because I don't care to make it complicated. It's a sweep of a low and then a market structure shift. Whoa. When it's at an important level, it tends to be more significant. what is this doing? It's forming a swing point. That's the idea. Now, yeah, you can absolutely say that's potentially one. This would be, you know, somewhat of like a, you have the change in state and then you have like the continuation order block. Those are like the two. It's the opposite candles in the trend. One's the reversal, one's the continuation. That's what this would be right here. This would be a continuation. It wouldn't be a change in state though. You know what I mean? Because it's not the lowest low. It's a higher low, if you will. So yeah, it's people like to sound complicated so they can like market it all expensive and shit, but really it's the most basic fucking thing ever. Ooh, change in state, order block. It's a fucking upside down H pattern. Everyone's been talking about H patterns for 20 fucking years. Like, you know, so the reversal itself, that's your Wyckoff spring. I have a textbook from the like 30s with that term in it, you know? So it's not some fucking dork who just made that shit up and you know, this is time tested stuff. But people like to make it complicated. I like my favorite thing is a fair value gap because I've never heard that anywhere else. That's it. I started to see what a fair value gap was. Like I kept getting stopped out by putting my stop right there. So I started entering and then I found out, oh shit, that's a fair value gap. Cool. But yeah, change in state, it's a reversal. So when you're thinking change in state, think swing point, think low. This one down here, because there's not a lower low right here, unless there's an SMT with like YM, which I didn't check. Unless there's an SMT right here, then that would be potentially your change of state. But I think right here, you're looking at this part, this 10 p.m. area. Boom, right there. I call that your change of state. There's better ones, obviously. This isn't my favorite looking one. Doesn't look all that great. This would have been a decent trade, even if you got in here, 62, and took some off right here at 75, which I would because that's why I have the level there. And then your midpoint, obviously. And then, you know, we have the rest that we can run for. So hopefully you guys are learning something. Yeah, when markets are easy to read for you, it's good to do a little more. But when you start feeling like fucking insane, like you want to legitimately throw everything you have at this, then yeah, you definitely take a step back. Because like I started to feel that. It was like I got a little bit of that last night, but it wasn't like right now. I definitely wanted to hit this was high, so got to chill. Just emotional restraint in whatever way. Mad, sad, happy, glad, whatever the fuck. Second one would be a propulsion block. Yeah. Whatever you want to call it. Fucking, you know. I really like calling it opposite candles because who doesn't know what the opposite candles are in a trend? They're the opposite of the trend. So look at this little higher low pullback to that same level. This could be a good spot. I mean, I think I'm done for the day with that. With that being said, I'm up 870, so it's pretty decent. Could be better, could be worse. There's like a fine line, right? So for a lot of you guys, you definitely want to stay within the consistency rule. Like you don't want to, you know, on top one, you don't want to do more than like the 20% because it's going to take you fucking forever to get a payout. However, I don't mind having an account or two where I take a payout way later. It forces me to play the long game. So I'm not worried about that. I do not care about getting the first payout. I don't care about that. I'd rather just build a buffer and get a payout when I want to, not when someone else wants me to, you know? So anytime I hear people talk about rushing to a payout, I'm like, okay, you just want to kill your drawdown. You just want to nuke your account. Yeah, a little choppy right here. So for what it's worth, I think we really did crush that. I think we got the most that we could out of that fucking move. That was solid. That wasn't just ICT or this or that. That's just the ability to read price, watching price develop. It's not a hammer candlestick by itself. It's the context in which it was unfolding. So go ahead, delete all my levels, frame out this trade for you guys because this is like when I see stuff like this is really, really, really solid stuff. You got your OTE right here. Let's see, get rid of the 50%. So you get OTE. I also was looking right here at essentially this candlestick, but any of them, right? It's any of them in this little down cycle. You have your opening price, boom. So we're above the opening price, right? You have this little flag pattern. It expands. it gives you a fair value gap right here, which I think everyone can see the fair value gap. Draw it out as well. Boom. So we don't just buy at the high of it right here. Like this is what I used to do all the time. It's so fucking stupid. Anyone who says do this is an idiot. Because now look, I like what? You know, I get 1.39 at best. What Chan does really well, this is something I saw him do like a year ago or so. It's a long time ago. And I was like, how do you do that? He legitimately, it's like waiting for like that swing point to form, and he'll have his stop like just smaller because it's like, oh, now it's actually a really good trade. This becomes a really, really, really good trade when I don't have my stop under the fucking bodies of the fair value gap. I hate to tell you guys, but if you can read how price develops, you do not need to have a 45-foot wide stop. That's something I had to figure out on my own because this year I just had bigger stops. I'm just like, why is it so big? And it's because like you just enter blindly at a level, you're fucking stupid. You need to wait for like, if I enter on this candle, the expected outcome is way different than this one, and then way different than this one, you know? So when you have 3 of them right here, you have a swing point. When you have one, you don't know if it's going to cut through. You're insane to say you do. So letting it develop, we were really able to get a nice trade. Unfortunate stop at first, because if we didn't take that stop, I mean, we'd be up. We'd be up like 1,500 probably, because I would have been able to risk a little more. But yeah, this first stop was a little unfortunate. So yeah, you guys have any questions? I think today's going to be a short stream. I think today's is pretty much done. We nailed that. I really think that was a solid day. Got to break down a little bit of the technical side of what I do. So that was cool. And this is what I mean when I say continuation. So I'll go over all the trades that I took today because I took a couple, right? I took a couple trades. I wanted this one at VWAP for the same targets that we mentioned, the London highs. However, I missed this. So I tried right here. I think I got a couple bucks and I took a stop or something. Like I was like down like $100 or $200 or up 50 at one point. I took like 2 or 3 entries here. Then I waited for this one, had the initial push that I caught, $200, then took a stop for 400, so minus 400. Then I got the bigger move right there for 500 or whatever, and then I got like the $300. So now I'm up $800. But it was all long biased on this structure. Continuation model, continuation. So when I see a move like this looks like a meme coin. I'm not going to short that because this is telling me this is an exuberant amount of buying. However you want to look at it, this right here demonstrates that is a strong, strong tape. I don't see this as weak in any regard. The candles are so fucking narrow, just teleporting. Like this is an extremely controlled trend, like expansion, right? So when we go sideways for a minute, I'm going to think rally, base, rally, just to make it simple. That's my perspective because I see all of this untapped, all these untapped levels up here. So when I have like that, context and location to target, then it really is an A+ setup in my opinion. From what seems like chop, right? It seems like chop. So other levels to kind of consider. Yes, we do have the change of state that we talked about on the hour, give or take, right? We have this inversion that I was very mindful of. I was watching this thing, and location also with VWAP with that initial push right here. That was a good one. So orientation within the range ran back to the new week opening gap about the middle, I believe. Let's see. Where are we at? 60 minute? Yeah, so basically to the bottom of it. Or no, to the middle. To the middle. So these are our levels that we had. We pretty much traded from the bottom of the new week opening gap, like 5,000 area, up to, the middle, the high, to London high as well. Beautifully executed. This was a really, really, really fucking solid trade. My entry, look, it's legitimately at the bottom of that gap. See, it's the bottom of the new week opening gap. How fucking perfect. That's why, when you have an awareness of this area in general, it's good when your trades line up with that. So we knew that the opening gap or no new week opening gap was in the middle, and it's going to be a highly reactive place. Now, I didn't have this on the chart, so this could be a good indication to have this to have like your upside target. However, yeah, it's really nice when you know that you're going to be trading into it as a midpoint. So very clean right here. Consolidation break, retest, boom. That's a money trade. That's a money trade. All price action. All right, brother. Yeah, take care. Yeah, Jude, I'll check it out. Sorry, dude. I'm on. Yeah, I'll check it out right now. Any questions, anybody? We're out of here. It's a nice and short and sweet stream. I'll get this one up on YouTube. Then yeah, we'll talk soon, guys. Just DM me if you got anything. All right, later.